I'm trying to get a space as much as possible.
Ooh.
Oh, maybe the laptop can, yeah, if you can split the laptop, that'd be better. Okay. So here, do you want to go over the muscle of the face first? Or the entire?
Yeah, like from top.
From top to bottom. Okay. So let's see what we could go over on this side. So do you guys remember? There's some labels on these guys already.
Okay.
So
I'm far, so I can't see.
okay. Cool. So do you guys remember what this muscle here? Right here? The
Frontalis.
frontalis. On the side we have the
Temporalis.
temporalis. In the back here we have the
Occipitalis.
occipitalis, right? Named after the bone. Pretty straightforward. We had the other one named after the bone right here. This was the
Zygomatic. Minor. Major.
zygomaticus, minor, and
and then
major.
major.
Which one's which? The one on top is the
Minor.
minor, and then major is
The bottom.
the bottom one.
Yes.
Okay, right? Good. The other muscles that we had were sphincter muscles. We had muscles surrounding the eye, and the ones surrounding the lips. The ones surrounding the eye were called
Oculi. Or
orbicularis oculi, and then this one is the
Orbicularis.
orbicularis oris. Right? And then we talked about some of the smiling muscles, right? Remember, there's two components. Where there's the stretching and then lifting up part, right?
And the bilevator.
Yeah, exactly. So this guy here, from here to here, Rhizorius.
Devlin said it was like, like Joker face.
Like Joker
the
face,
Joker.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really a lot of smiling. Rhizorius,
Yeah.
right? But we have another muscle from the tips of the lips all the way to the nasal bone, right? That's the levator labii lips superioris. Levator labii superioris. That's this muscle from here to here. You see that very well? Alright, the other muscles that we talked about were some of the cheek muscles, right? And then the one that we had to identify on the cat was
Digastric.
there's digastric, but one of the cheeks
Masseter.
is the masseter. It's really massive and huge. So be able to identify on the cat. But you can see, you can see the muscle here, and that's one of the muscles of true muscles of mastication, right? But accessory muscle of mastication was a buccinator, and that you can see just deep to the masseter. See that here? So there's a deeper muscle which I could easily point to, and then the superficial muscles right there. And then of course there's Rhizorius sort of stretching over it. Okay. There is some of the neck muscles that we talked about. Another one on the cat was the digastric, right? And then we're gonna only pin the anterior belly, which goes from the tip of your chin along the side of the mandible. Right? So that's gonna be like a V-shaped muscle in the cat. So make sure you're prepared for that. Another muscle that you should know in the neck, right, is this big guy.
Sternocleidomastoid.
The sternocleidomastoid, right? The one vertical from the bone to the sternum, sternohyoid, right? And that's this medial one right here. This one, the one with the tape, right? And then the other muscle, we said don't worry about scalenes for now, but the platysma muscle, right? We actually took out the platysma muscle. It's a very superficial sheet. We ripped it out so you guys can see the deeper muscles. But if you happen to see like a superficial muscle in the neck region, right? That's the platysma. That's the platysma. And I think that's muscles of the head and the neck. So if you actually go down a bit, right? So starting from his anterior region, right? His torso, you can see this muscle here very well. Major. Pectoralis major, right? And that's innervated by what?
Pectoral nerve.
Pectoral nerve, medial and lateral pectoral nerves. Good. Right. Do you guys remember what the pectoralis minor is innervated by?
Lateral nerve?
It was the medial pectoral nerve.
Medial
And we were saying on the cadaver, I don't know if you guys remember, like I was showing to you guys the week before, the pectoralis minor is like high up. It's just really little, right? Pectoralis minor, and then this is the major. Right? Yeah. So I think it's this guy. But here you could see which muscle. Serratus anterior. That's very visible, very visible. So make sure you are able to identify this guy, right? Innervation.
Long thoracic nerve.
Long thoracic nerve. Good. Long thoracic. So continuing on this side, right, we can see on both sides, we can see the what?
Deltoid.
This is the deltoid, right? What's sticking out on this side here? Biceps, which one? Biceps brachia, right? And then a little bit on the side would be the brachialis, right? Good. Let's see. We're not doing these muscles. Let's actually go down to this bottom region. Can you see the this muscle here? It's going diagonally sartorius, right? And that's innervated by femoral nerve. Right? Can you guys see how we're, there's still things to test you on this side too, right? In the center here is probably what? Rectus femoris, right? Just going off this way is where? Vastus lateralis. And does anybody know what this guy might be? This is actually part of the tensor fascia lata. It looks very huge on this guy, and it's not connected to a fascia, so we might be kind of disorienting. But normally, you should expect the what attached to it? The IT band, the iliotibial tract. Good. Let's see. Let me turn him around. So here you can see the spine of the scapula again, right? You guys see how there's like muscles on this side? Right? Do you know what this is actually part of? That's actually part of the trapezius. Yeah, the trapezius, it inserts onto the spine of the scapula. So that's part of the trapezius, diamond-shaped muscle in the back, right?
So how can you tell the difference between the trapezius and the supraspinatus?
Supraspinatus.
It's deeper, right?
It's deeper. Can you guys see here? Do you see how there's like a bed of muscle right there? That's supraspinatus versus. Do you see how that's in the trap? Because this just sits in the bed while the trap inserts all the way to like the spinous processes. Good. Bye guys. See you next week. So this muscle here has to be what? Infraspinatus. So this big guy down here is the teres major. You guys see that? And then we're telling you guys the extra. This is the teres minor. Do you guys remember teres minor was part of what group of muscles? It's innervated by the axillary, right? But it's part of a special group that does a special function. Rotator cuff muscles. You guys remember that? SITS. Yeah. It's been a while. Right? Do you guys remember what the other muscles were? So there's just teres minor. Exactly. Supraspinatus, infraspinatus, subscapularis, and then teres minor. Minor leagues. That's what she was saying. Rotator cuff. Good. Right? Here we could see down here, right? Do you see this muscle down here? That's the what? Long head of triceps. That's the long head of the triceps. And then do you see this muscle slightly here? Lateral head of the triceps, yeah. And the medial head, I think it's down here on the medial side, so you can't really see it on this model that well. Yeah. So don't worry about that model, that muscle on this. You can also see really well this muscle here. Right? Do you see what this muscle is? That's the latissimus dorsi, that V-shaped torso people, right? They have a very pronounced latissimus dorsi. Good. You can see. We see this muscle down here, which is the gluteus maximus, right? Just equal to it is the gluteus medius, right? And then I was telling you guys, minimus is a little bit deeper, so it's hard to see. But down here we have a muscle that's called piriformis, which we don't have to worry about. And that's it. To be super more detailed, crazier. Do you see these muscles down here? Do you guys remember what these muscles are part of? What group they're part of? They're part of the hamstrings. So this muscle down here is the what? That's biceps femoris. And then this muscle here is the semitendinosus. And where's membranosus? Just deeper to it. Good. Yeah, and I think that's the extent that you have to know for all this stuff. Thank you.